When I was 9 years old, my father committed suicide, and my oldest brother also died in a freak car accident. So all my years previous to that actually kind of been blanked out. But early childhood memories, I can't recall. I was one of 10 children, and with my father's death, Mum brought up the last 5 of us still at home. Did a good job, made a loving house, all that type of thing. Mum wasn't a hugging type of person, but she taught us all how to work, and we all had after school jobs. And my first job from leaving school, I actually got fired because I was smelt of alcohol. And my last job prior to coming to know Christ, I would have been fired, except my work colleague hid me away at my place of work, kept me away from the manager because I stunk of alcohol. And that was Jenny that did that. After school, I didn't have a respect for people. I went and ended up over in Bay of Plenty. My sister got me a job over there, and unfortunately my lifestyle destroyed that relationship. So she kicked me out of there. Then I went and stayed in a boarding house, and I got kicked out of there because of drinking. But from there I actually met a family. A guy invited me to come and stay with his family over in Tauranga. So I lived with him for a number of years. But through them they were Black Power members. The years that I stayed in Tauranga, I was sort of the token Pākehā boy in amongst all the Māoris. A lot of hairy situations. It was quite an eye-opener. I look back and I think, wow, but I learnt, well, I didn't learn, but I drank more and I smoked more dope then. It was an interesting life. Interesting but scary life. Yeah. Jumping a few years, I met a Christian girl and we married, but I still had the lifestyle of drinking, and I was still selfish. It was all about myself. So that actually only lasted 6 years, and we got a divorce. Then, I came to Auckland, and I met another lady, but I actually saw the way her family lived and how they walked the walk, and they actually lived like what I'd heard Christians live like. This particular family, they never argued. They never talked bad about anybody. The son of this family actually lent me, I think it was about $3,000 when I blew the motor up on my car. And I hardly knew this guy. And he lent it to me so I could get the motor done on the car. And it's through them walking the walk that I started to think, wow, this is what Christianity is all about. And then one day God just spoke to me, and he just told me that he did create this world. It was the craziest of things, actually. I was looking at a wildlife documentary, and I saw a giraffe get down, spread its legs and get down and drink water. And then God said, I created that. Yeah, I created everything. And it was from there that I thought, wow, this God does exist. My little sister has come to know Christ since I've been in the Salvation Army, which is great. But the other 7 surviving ones don't have anything to do with Christianity. They call me the Christian brother, but at first, when I first became a Christian, they were against it. But now they know that Christians aren't kooky. They don't understand my belief, but they see. I strive to walk the walk, and they actually like the type of person I am now in comparison to what it was in the past. One time I've been beaten up twice. I used to have this attitude, I'd go to any pub. Any pub in New Zealand, that was my pub, even though I was the only white person in that pub. I was in the Te Puke public bar. It's been closed down since then. And I got set on by 2 filthy few members. Mongrel mob members, prospects outside. I got beaten up quite severely. They stole my shoes, my wallet, and my dad's watch, which was really upsetting after the fact. And I was left bloody on the steps. Another time I was beaten up at the Paingaroa Tavern by the filthy few because we were winning on the pool table, myself and workmates. And they took offence to that, and I woke up in Tauranga Hospital. But I had this attitude. I didn't really care, I'd go anywhere, even though people would say, Brett, you don't go into these pubs, you're white, you don't go there. And not as in white in colours because you weren't a gang member. They were gang pubs, One part, twice I tried suicide. My second time I melted the blade on a big razor and I sliced my arm up, and I actually thought that was the end of it. But I woke up the next morning. My mattress was soaked in blood, and I was still alive, which is, at that time I thought, crap. But there's a reason for it, There's always a reason. I've had, since I've been working with the Sallies, I've had a couple of people come in who have, one was a volunteer, she was struggling with life and wanted to commit suicide. So I sat down, I was able to show her my arm, and she was able to relate to that, and we talked about it, and it's not just, what about your children? What about your, the ones who love you? It's those people that you're really going to hurt, and there's always light at the end of the rainbow. No, that's the wrong thing. At the end of the tunnel, I didn't have a purpose for my life back then, It was just drinking. I think I worked hard. I did lots of different jobs around the country. But when I got bored or just whenever that took me, I would leave and move on to another. It's only since come to know Christ and things, there is a purpose. We have to reach out to those who are struggling in life and say there is a better way. There's a great way to live. And you can live with knowing that God's got your back. You can get through all the trials, because you've got God and Jesus Christ, and through the power of the Holy Spirit, you can see life through a clearer vision rather than having dark glasses on all the time. So my life now is 100% different to what it was. What am I now? I am 52, 31 when I became a Christian. And then from then it was a journey. Then Jenny, my wife now, invited me along to church. And then I started coming along to the Sallies. Actually started off here. From here I moved to a couple other Sallies, but I've ended up back in the Glen church core. And but it's been a journey, just growing. As I've said before, definitely not perfect. I've struggled in areas, but in comparison to my previous life, so much better. And my family see it. And sometimes I wish that the people I was acquainted with in the Bay of Plenty and various parts of New Zealand could see me now, because they would see what a difference. I like to say to people, man, it's so easy. It's just having a relationship, just saying, all you have to do is admit that Jesus Christ is a risen Son of God, and that you strive to lead a better life following his footsteps. That's it. None of the religion stuff. No Hail Marys, Our Fathers, genuflecting. Don't have to attend church every Sunday or anything like that. But, it's good to attend church because you're there to help others. But it's having that relationship. Just stay true to Christ. Read the Bible, study it find out what it means. Just don't just read it as a book. You've got all the information out there on the web that you can see. What does the scripture verse actually mean? Then ask God to reveal it to you, how it relates to your life at this time. Because a verse now could mean something different to you 6 months down the track in another situation.